Hi guys, and welcome to the Awakening Energy. This channel is all about the awakening energy, yet so far I haven't actually really told you how to awaken the energy. This energy, what is it? Well, it's a connection to the source energy. And how do we do this? Well, there are many ways, but one of the strongest connections you can have to this energy is by awakening your Kundalini. So how do we awaken our Kundalini? Now, there are many ways to do this. It's what Kundalini yoga is all about, Kriya yoga is all about, but there are other ways. To begin being able to control this, first of all, you need to be able to control your mind. And that's why I have a video about learning to meditate in a very simple and easy way without any lots of different complicated systems. It's just very, very simple. So if you don't know how to meditate, that's the first thing you need to do. So go watch that video. Then what we need to do is awaken your energy, your Kundalini energy, before trying to awaken it. Once we have established a connection to this energy, we can then use, for example, breath work, or we can go to someone who does Kundalini activation to help us. Now, most people who do Kundalini activation don't actually know how to awaken your Kundalini, because we have two different things. There's Kundalini activation, which is basically awakening your pranic energy. And then there's Kundalini awakening, which is sending this energy up your Sushumna or your spinal cord. And that is where the Kundalini awakening happens. So why do we have these things called Kundalini activation, Kundalini awakening, when they're actually different things? Because the word Kundalini has many different translations, and this is where the mistakes are made. Yes, Kundalini activation can lead to Kundalini awakening if you know how. Or perhaps it can happen by accident too. Okay, nothing wrong with that. If you do enough sessions of Kundalini activation, then you might get there. But hell, let's cut out all the unnecessary processes. And you can use that once you know how to do it to help you and speed you along greatly. But anyway, so the first step, as I said, learning to clear the mind. That's vitally important to be able to do this, because otherwise you're going to start doing it and, your monkey mind's going to come in and it's not going to help. Or you're going to start a session and you activate the energy and then you're not in the right mood, and so nothing's going to happen, and because you don't know how to center yourself. So the first step, as I said, meditation. Got two videos. One is learning how to do it, and there's another video of me doing it so you can practice along with me. The second step is to activate this energy. Now, how do we do this? Some people will say, well, you have to go to a guru to be able to activate it, or go on a course to be able to activate this energy. And you can do it that way. Absolutely no problem. Go ahead, do it that way. But there is another way. It does take longer, but it doesn't cost you any money. And the way we do this is very simply forming what is known as the chi ball. And I can hear people saying, oh, but chi isn't the same as Kundalini. Well, chi energy is the same as the pranic energy. So if we're translating Kundalini as prana or pranic energy, then it is the same. And then we take it into our body, and this is where the translations gets mixed, and this is why some people say they're different things. But anyway, how do we create a chi ball? well, I can put one hand here, another hand here, and I can sit here for 20 years and nothing's going to happen. But if I imagine, and at the beginning it does take imagination to kick it off, but then these sensations will become very, very real. If I imagine from the center of my palm and the center of the other palm, there is either, for some people it's stronger electrically, for other people it's magnetically. For people who start getting there, it'll be sort of electromagnetic. And then for people that really control, we'll find one hand becomes very electric and the other becomes very magnetic over time. Don't worry about that yet. But so what we're going to do is we're going to imagine an energy coming out of, there is a major meridian here and another one here, the energy channels. And you're simply going to imagine an energy coming out of, let's say, your right palm. And you can see what I'm doing with my hands. And you're just sort of trying to connect it and pull it to the other hand. And then we're going to do the other one. Just pull it out. And we might find, oh, we can feel something here, but nothing here. Okay, that's fine. You start here. And you feel this sort of magnetic electric current between your hands. Start to play with it. And this might take a little bit of time. You imagine this current, a connection between your hands. And then after a little while, the imagination changes and you start to, hang on, there's something in there. And it's sort of like a pulsing. And there's something there. There's something there. What is it? This is the awakening of these energy channels. If you concentrate on this, get it bigger, and you practice this for 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes a day, and you'll notice it grows. And when we can get to about this size and hold it, this might take you a couple of weeks, it might take you a couple of days, you might get it instantly, that's fine. It doesn't matter, just practice with a clear mind, and you'll get it. And now we're going to say, okay, let's try and make this stronger. Let's put more energy in. Concentrating, growing this energy. For some people, you might even start to see it's like movement between the hands. It's a very subtle sight that you need. You can see it moving between your hands. It's like invisible, but just about visible sort of movement going between the two. And we grow this energy. And then say, okay, what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to face my hands towards me. You will feel, if it's strong enough, it might be very subtle at the beginning, but with time and practice, you point your hands towards you and you focus it and you point it over your body. And you start to begin to feel this sort of relaxing wave or relaxing pulsation coming from your hands moving over your body. And this is the beginning of how to do it. Now, as I said, this isn't going to happen for 99.99% of the people in a day. It's going to take practice. It could take days, it could take weeks, it could take months of daily practice. And that's absolutely okay. Remember, when you do this, to be in that meditative state of no thought. So first of all, practice the meditation. Clear your mind, center. Next, grow this energy in you, between your palms. Third, we then focus it over our body. Once we can do that and we're focusing over our body, you can go out for a walk. A walk in nature will obviously help you way more. And you can be walking along and you can be feeling this energy between your hands. Just walking and concentrating and feeling, just playing with it as you're walking along. Mind is nowhere, just concentrating, and then you focus it on yourself. This over time, you'll start to feel it, it'll get stronger. You'll even get to a point that you're doing this. I've got a bit of an ache in my shoulder today. It's a bit stiff. Well, do this, grow it. Let's say it's in your right shoulder. Well, you can then take your left hand to where that pain is and concentrate it. And perhaps do a slight movement over the painful area. And you'll feel, if you have enough power built up, you will feel the pain relieved. And it'll be a very interesting moment when this happens, because you'll suddenly be like, whoa. Now, if you think about this, what's the first reaction, let's say, a child has, or even adults, if you hurt yourself? Let's say you hurt your hand. The first thing you do is you cover it, or you put your hand to your head for a headache, or you've hurt your knee, you put your hands on it. It's a very natural process that we do. But because we haven't connected to these pranic energies, nothing's actually really happening significantly. When we learn to control this energy, that's when we can start self-healing certain areas, pains, aches, etc. I encourage you to try this and practice it, and you'll find that, oh yes, but this is just psychosomatic. I'm putting my hand there. I'm thinking it's going to reduce the pain, and so it does. Okay, so go and do this on someone else. Let's say you've got a friend who's got some back pain or some shoulder pain, and once you've built up enough energy, you can try it on them. And when it works on them, well, then it's not your psychosomatic idea, but perhaps it's theirs. Well, keep trying it on more people. And you'll find that not on everybody, because some people won't be open to it, but when someone is open to receiving the energy, it will work on them. And science works on repetition, building up experiments and getting the results you're looking for. So do science with this. Practice it on enough people. Once you build up the energy, if it's not working, perhaps you need to build more. But you will get to a point where the results come out through scientific testing, repeated testing, that it works very, very efficiently on a lot of people. And so that will be a test for yourself, a scientific test to prove this it works. Building up lots of testing and retesting. And it'll show you. From there, we will go on in other videos, because I want to do this over time so you have the time to practice each exercise. But over time, we will build this up and we will learn how to take this to the next step and turn it into awakening your Kundalini, which in turn will help you have a spiritual awakening. Now, you don't have to have a Kundalini awakening to have a spiritual awakening. However, to have a spiritual awakening through Kundalini brings many more things with it. In yoga, they talk about the siddhis. Now, to discuss siddhis in Western terms, they sort of say it as magical powers and flying around and things like that. Well, it's not quite that. Yes, there is the flying around, but that's called astral projection. It's not you physically flying in this body. But there are lots of psychic abilities that through Kundalini awakening and then a spiritual awakening, you will gain over time. Now, as it says in yoga, we don't get caught up on these things. We can use them to help us progress, but we don't get stuck on them, because otherwise you get stuck in your process of awakening. So it's a fun exercise. When you start using it on other people and it helps other people, Remember, it's an exercise that you can use and you can help people for pain relief, etc., which is great. But don't get stuck there. There are people that have designed courses and make money off this type of thing, of pain relief. That's all great. But if you're looking to grow yourself, don't get stuck there. By all means, help other people. Great thing to do. But we'll keep going further and further and further over time in the awakening energy to take steps to empower ourselves. So I hope you like this video. Please, for the algorithm, remember to comment on it, like it, click the subscribe button if you want to follow on in this course. And over time, we will get there. We will awaken our Kundalinis, not just activate prana. I've already taught you how to activate prana. It's actually a very simple process. And I will teach you how to use these things for yourself and to help other people. So, as I said, if you like this, if you practice this, you think other people would also like this, as I said, remember, share it, like it, comment on it, because that will help the YouTube algorithm know that this is a good video, and so other people, it'll show it to other people and they can learn from it too. Okay, thank you. Go try this exercise. Try the first exercise first, the meditation, clear your mind. Then we go to this one. And then in future videos, we will be using both these tools to then go further and do other things with it.